There we go. And History of Bad Ideas in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas, episode number 337. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I think that's about it right now.
Yeah, everyone else is running late or has something else going on. So
it's just us. And that's okay. I think we're going to have Blake show up soon. I think he's back from vacation now, right? Is that
I'm
correct?
under the impression he is back in town.
Okay. I called Tony from Salty Language, and that bastard, how dare he? He didn't answer. He didn't know he was coming on the show. But,
yeah,
you know,
you didn't
hey.
tell him, but he didn't answer, so.
That's right. Intern Hackney is celebrating his wedding anniversary tonight.
Yeah.
So, congratulations on that. 13 years. So, what else would you rather do on your anniversary than hang out with Hobie? But, you know, that's fine. Fine. Don't do it.
He said there's an outside chance he might jump on.
Oh, no. He is definitely fired as intern now. He's done. I'm done with it.
But he hasn't found his replacement yet.
No. So if you want to be the next intern, please send your resumes to intern Hackney at Graphic Novice, and he'll go through them for us. I'm sure he'll find a good one.
Yeah.
And Jim is drunk, so he's not going to be on the show, or he may. Who knows? He may just come on later. But we will
golfing. It was his first week back golfing.
No way is he coming back then.
And they usually drink after golf.
Some good news in this world: the Cincinnati Comic Expo is still on, Jeff. Still on. September 11th.
There can be only one.
The Highlander Expos. Take a look, Cincinnati Comic Expo. We're going to do that early, just because we just want to let everybody know it is still on here in Cincinnati. Hobie will still be doing trivia with the cinema guys. So there you go.
Take that.
Yeah. So, Jeff, how are you doing this week?
I'm pretty much on a level playing field. It's just been level keel. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sure. Sounds good.
The boat hasn't really been rocking in my existence here for a little past week.
Okay. We got to hang out this weekend.
We did. Nice low-key
drinking night. I didn't realize I drank that much.
I don't know how much you drank.
Well, I had 3 before you got there. And then
that's quite a lot.
For me, it is, yes. And I went back and forth between Truly and some orange stuff, and I don't even know what else I had. Some other beer. And I got into bed. I was like, whew, that felt good. My wife's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay. Maybe. So it was a good time. I think we're going to get closer to game night, Jeff. We're going to get game night back.
You think? I don't know. I saw pictures today, Jason.
Yes.
I saw your kids at the beach.
Yes, they went to a local lake. I was working, but my wife took the 3 kids with our neighbor and her 2 kids because we've all been kind of quarantine buddies.
Okay.
So that's why. And the husband works out of the house too, or mostly out of the house, so that's been good.
So you guys hung out at home while they went?
Yeah, I worked. So they got to enjoy the lake and that, but they were together, so that was okay. I'm okay. We're trying to get back into some normalcy here, maybe.
Maybe.
We're going to find out, Jeff, by the end of June if it's gone or not, or low enough. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's not going to be gone.
No. But yeah, so there you go. Let's see here. But anything you watched this week?
No. I mean, I watched like another episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, thank God. Again, thank God you finished that sentence. Please do that every time. Not Avatar the movie.
Ooh. No, I didn't watch that.
Okay, good. So, are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, it's it's like a formula now. So it was like, okay,
You're pot committed.
Pot committed.
maybe. Hey, that's Blake.
Here.
Hello. How
Hey,
you doing?
Blake. Blake, are you back in town from vacation? I think we lost Blake.
Doing all right.
Oh,
Hello?
Blake.
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, we're live on the
We
air.
can hear you. Can you hear us? Blake? I don't think
Yeah,
you can hear
I'm
us.
back on. I'm back on Wi-Fi, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think my phone just like swapped back and forth from like data to Wi-Fi. Pretty weird.
Oh, okay. Well, we're on the air in WKRP in Cincinnati. So
We're live. Oh,
We
shit.
are live. We've
I
been
thought we were still
recording.
doing. I thought we were still
Yeah,
doing
well, we're-
our pre-recording hellos.
Oh no, I guess we should have. Whoops. That's all right. We're on the air.
All right, let me go put some pants on.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you can do it
oh.
without pants. That's fine. Oh, I forgot to ask you, Jason. Did you switch the thing on the thing to make sure the thing
I
works?
did.
Okay.
Thank you. Our pre-Skype ritual here. So this is good podcasting right now. Blake, you are back in
Yes.
town. How was
Yes.
vacation?
I was down in the free state of Florida.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
So how much of the COVID did you bring back with you?
None so far. But then again, I guess we won't know for 7 days, right?
It came out today that what's that?
Oh, and I was going to say, it is pretty interesting. I'll tell you what. So we drove down through Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Florida. And I will say in my stops through the South, I think the only people wearing masks going into stores were Yankees going south.
I can see that. I can see that.
Some of the places, had the food service workers wearing masks, but I think some gas station attendants or some other peeps and stuff along the way. I mean, they're behind plexiglass. I wish I had bought stock in plexiglass manufacturing and sales of businesses because they're all over the place there now. I mean, you can't. They've installed plexiglass in between customers and like cashiers and focal points of sale. And I would probably say the food service, everything's closed on the inside. If not, it's spaced out. But mostly everything's still carry out, just like here, or eat outside if they got tables that are set up. But even the tables that are set up outside that were in Florida, they were outside, but they weren't 6 feet apart from each other. And a lot of the big touristy destinations were pretty good. So if you're there for retail, vacation shopping, they would limit people into the store, and store peeps had masks on. And all sales were final. You couldn't try anything on, blah, 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 blah. But, pretty much very, very relaxed. I probably would say the worst that anybody got upset at anybody was there was a lady that was in a hotel because we had to switch to a hotel for the past 2 days because we had some other side issues that went on when we were supposed to leave and didn't get a chance to leave. I can talk about that offline. But the one lady, so you go into Embassy Suites, you're the breakfast in the mornings and isn't made to order. They just say, here's the breakfast for the day. Get your box and leave.
Get the hell out.
Get the hell out. And they're always like, hey, 6 feet. And, there are a bunch of Southern folk there crowding this lady and her husband to go through the line to get their boxes. You get your yogurts, you get your fruit, you get your juices, and there's the coffee station at the end and leaves. But before she leaves, she turns around and basically just lambasts into these Southern ladies that were just, hawking right behind them about their social distancing, and she had somebody in her family have COVID virus and it wasn't pretty and you need to work on it. Blah. And I was like, if it was, because I would actually find myself moving towards and then consciously, hey, I need to go 6 feet back. Well, moving forward. Whoa, back. And then it's kind of hard because you don't know when they're going to stop and you're like,
Did you ask the
one
lady
step forward,
if she
2
needed a
steps
hug?
back? Was it? No, seriously. What the and after she left, the two ladies had some comments, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, if there's somebody who's bothering you, just politely turn around and say, hey, can you please maintain your 6 feet distance? I've had somebody that was sick. It's not good. Please work on that. And everybody would be like, oh, okay. And probably set back 6 feet, most likely.
Correct.
But, it's like, turning around and lambasting people kind of defeats the purpose. Okay, they're closer than 6 feet to you. You didn't say anything until you wanted to leave and then be Karen-like about it. But justifiably Karen-like. But, get more honey with bees. But I would say, coming from the north going to the southern states, pardon the, southern listeners if we have any. But anyways.
We do.
But it's definitely probably because our state was a lot more restrictive than their states. We're a lot more conscious to it. And a lot of the tourists, even outside and going into places, I think even like the Publix or the grocery shopping, I say 1 in 10 people wearing masks. And I think 1 in 10 people have bad sunburns. And so, they're tourists, Yankees. So.
Well, the grocery store, the smaller grocery store out by me, has plexiglass too between the cashiers and the customers.
Damn, get on the plexiglass business. I missed it.
The large grocery store by me's got plexiglass
do they?
At every lane. Yeah. I can't believe you don't.
I have not been into the larger grocery store.
Oh, okay.
Since March. We get pickup groceries from them, but we don't go in. And then the other smaller one, nobody's there, so that's why we run in. Blake, I'm kind of confused. You're telling me Alabama, with the 49th greatest education system, is not taking enough preventive measures during a crisis? I am shocked by that.
It hasn't caught up with their barbecue culinary skills yet.
This is America, damn it. We don't need this.
Yeah.
So, apologize to the Alabama listener. That's it. Just one.
That's fine. And being a Yankee.
Oh, did he come back?
Yeah.
No.
Being a Yankee, I'm also conscious in which part of the state I can say, hey, roll Tide or Eagle. So that kind of buys you favoritism points.
Can you tell him I want them both to lose? I mean, where do you get?
Yeah, I would have liked to have been able to leave the gas station in one piece.
Well, I suppose you can say it's like, well, I hate your team, but I also hate their team, so you at least got that in common.
Well, the scarier part was we rented a van so we can pour peeps in, into vehicles and drive down because we weren't allowed to fly by the matriarch. So we ended up getting a van, and it had Michigan license plates on it. So at least going through the Roll Tide area, I was okay. If I had my Buckeye, thing, I might have started some trouble.
Were you 6 feet apart in the van?
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I didn't know if somebody's on the hood, somebody's on the roof.
Yeah. Somebody, dragging, somebody
being pulled 6 feet behind the car on a scooter.
behind the car on a, super wagon wheel. Yeah, that's right. Up there on the top of the luggage rack, strapped in. No, it's basically. So so you think about it, you got to rely on your friends and family have been doing the right thing as well. So when you all get together, you're good to go. But as soon as you walk outside your front door, you're taking a calculated risk. Now the calculated risk, based on more information coming in, is looking more favorable. However, not if you have a bimorbidity or if you're age 80 or over. So there you go.
Yeah. My parents, they're 75 and 78. They came to my son's baseball game, his first baseball game, last weekend, I think it was, whenever that was. And that was like, a pretty big step. And it was outside. But it is funny because at my son's baseball games, he's 10. And I think we have better crowds than the Tampa Bay Devil Rays do, or Rays, whatever they're called, because now everybody wants to fucking go outside. So,
and they kind of,
what's that?
Yeah, And then that kind of segues into, a couple weeks ago on the show, I said Major League Baseball better not fuck this up. Well, they're on their way to fucking it up. I mean,
oh, it's fucked up. There's a 2%
I'm really
chance
upset.
they'll actually come up with some way to play this year.
Yeah,
Do you even want them to, though, at this point?
I need it. I need something.
It just is so weird not having baseball in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a great casual sport, too. You have games every day.
Yeah.
It's like, when do I feel like watching or listening to the radio for one?
Yeah, because
and right now I'm being denied that opportunity.
When it's the All-Star game, when they have 3 days off or whatever, you're like, what the fuck is going on? What do I do now? Like, there's nothing out there during the All-Star break.
Well, there's the actual All-Star game.
And
the Home Run Derby contest.
I could give a shit about those two things. I'll be honest.
Can give one?
Nah, not really.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I was so bored for sports. I watched horse racing on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, God. On purpose?
Yes.
Oh.
But then again, I was kind of trapped in a hotel, too. So it was entertaining when you got, a couple people watching. And what was really cool is on Fox Sports 1. And they were jumping literally from track to track across America. It's like they had, hey, this is going at 10 after, this is going at 20 after, this is going at 40 after. I watched the Belmont Stakes race, but they just kept churching. And they even had Churchill Downs in there. And it was pretty awesome. So you basically cut immediately to like a couple minutes before the gate time. And they basically went through the horses, a little bit about the commentary of the horses, the trainers, the jockeys. Oh, by the way, where are the female jockeys in horse racing?
There is none. Is there?
There are none. And I think, in this day and age, we need female horse jockeys. But anyways.
Well, I'm sure there are some somewhere.
There wasn't Black Beauty, damn it. But anyways.
I'm not saying you saw them on Saturday when you were watching.
Or was that Secretariat movie? I can't remember. Did
they go over how much steroids the horses are pumped?
Yeah, well, that's really weird. We had a conversation about they can put steroids in horses and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And how fragile the horses are.
It was really cool. So you're getting the odds as they're flashing across. You're getting the names of the horses. You're getting backgrounds on the jockeys, the trainers, the owners, and quick interviews. And it's, they got the two guys from the central area broadcast talking as they go to every race. And they got a couple other commentators, throughout they bring in for color and all that kind of fun stuff. And it was really cool. And it was literally like screaming out every race, I want, Twisted Jilter to win, or, I want chomp, 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 chomp the bit to win, and just root for them and watch the race. And it was like, 15-second, good sex play with an orgasm at the end. And you start it all over again. Kind of like what Fortnite is to 12-year-olds.
So Chomp Chomp Bit, is the owner a big Super Mario fan? Is that what it is? Or a Pac-Man fan?
But hey, where's the Super Mario horse? That's what I want to know. Someone's got to come and name them one. But what's really weird? They had commercials for horses.
Like to buy?
Yes. And
why?
They said, I don't know. I'm not a horse guy.
I'm thinking they probably just tapped into. They're probably showing stuff that's been broadcast or at least cable cast to like all the horse people. They're simulcasting these races across the country. So this is probably something that the horse breeders watch all the time.
So it was really weird. It'd be I forget. It was like Stud Muffin. This is the year for Stud Muffin. The side then it would give it, who he was studded from, and who the female, the mare was, or I forget what they call it, the stud and the whatever, the mare or whatever. And it's like given like genealogy, it's like third generation horse from Secretariat, for example. I'm just making this shit up, but this is what they were talking about. And it was like you're buying it you're watching a BMW commercial or a Hyundai or Toyota for horses, but it's a specific horse.
So I know a guy that his dad is a compulsive gambler. But I guess if he wins, it doesn't matter. I don't know. But anyways, his dad.
You're really a compulsive gambler if you're broke and losing everything.
That's right. So he bets on the horses all the time, and he has a streaming service into his house for live horse racing all over the country every day, and they place bets on it. That's how he knows, and so he watches these horses all day long. On this live stream, and they go from racetrack to racetrack basically, and he can place his bets that way. And I'm like, oh God, of all the things, I mean, I guess horse racing, but I hate horse racing, so. Oh, but yeah, there's services out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if those commercials were coming in from those type of streaming services, Blake.
Yeah, I think some of those commercials were actually like pimping the horse man juice, essentially.
So we were so starved for sports over here. I think it was 2 weekends ago. My son and I were flipping through, and they had racing on. And we're like, Formula One racing. This is pretty sharp. Yeah.
Until you realized.
Well, hold on.
How old was it?
No. It was
going.
live. It was live.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I was like, that's really cool. And then you see a 25-year-old guy in his basement using a steering wheel. And I go, oh, shit.
Oh, it's the video racing shit.
In a gaming racing chair.
It's video game racing. I was like, what the fuck is it? Because the graphics look amazing. So
yeah, it's the Formula One virtual racing. I saw that this weekend too, because I just happened to be walking by and I looked at it and I'm like, hey, that's Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
And then I realized there's people in the stands.
Yes.
And then I'm like, this is fucking live? Wait, hold on a second. And then they cut you exactly, just like you said. The commentator starts saying something, it cuts to a guy in a video racing chair. And you're just like, I'm like, wow, yeah, those were really good graphics.
Yeah, and the whole time until I was like, okay, I can't watch this. It's kind of like when I have nothing against professional video game players. You know what? Do what makes you happy. If you can make a living at it, good for you. But it doesn't intrigue me at all. Like they show like those what is that? The massive multiplayer online games like the Dungeons and Dragons, like the Warcraft ones or something like
Morgs.
that. Yeah,
MMORPG.
And I think Champions or whatever it is that they're naming, the one is the popular one. And I'm watching it for like 2 minutes, and I have no idea what's going on. It's just a lot of things shooting at each other, orcs and elves and wizards all fighting, and you can't tell one thing that's going on. And the announcers are going ballistic. Oh my God, he did a 72 spell to him. I'm like, where? I don't know where this is going. And all you see is bright colors. And I'm like, how can you watch this?
I saw an ESPN League of Legends championship.
That's what it is. Yes.
And I was watching it and listening to the commentary.
Yes.
And I was like, this is really bad.
That's what it is.
Unless you're a League of Legends player, then I guess it would be kind of cool.
I mean, I don't have a problem that people like it. Good for them. Like what you like. But
hey, they're probably richer than me playing that game. So
yeah, I have no idea what's going on. It's just explosions, and it doesn't translate well to TV. Is my issue?
Yeah. No, it doesn't. Oh, they're going for the level 10 tower. Oh, you got it. And you're just like, I'm like, I don't play League of Legends, but okay.
What do you say,
Jeff? I saw. I think it was a Fortnite tournament or something once, like the very beginning. It's like they're starting, and then it's like, okay, then like you said, that's all it is. It's explosions everywhere, and you're like, all right, sure.
And it doesn't help.
I wouldn't even want to play that. That looks not fun to play, let alone watch.
Yeah, I agree. I never got into Fort. I did try it mostly because of my nephew, and when he was over one day, and I was like, okay, so I tried it, and I was like, I'll just watch you.
I can understand maybe like a smaller group, playing teams against each other, but when you just have 72 people in a free for all, I'm like, this isn't exciting.
Well, yeah, it is. It's exciting because if you lose, you're done real quick, and then you can start playing again.
Yeah. Well, you can't start playing again because you have to wait till everybody loses.
No, Fortnite. You can
the tournament.
You can stay and okay. Well, yeah, you can stay and watch the game if you want, but as soon as you're done, you can exit and start for a new game. As soon as they get enough players and launch again. So I mean, that's kind of like the for the short attention span world that these kids are growing up in. and what we're going to become as our stupidity increases, it's the perfect game.
I love how 40-year-olds try to explain Fortnite.
Yeah, listen to us try and explain Fortnite exactly.
I downloaded it and played, I don't know, maybe a couple nights, like total of like maybe 2 nights, just for a couple hours. I really couldn't get into it. I don't know why. I was just not a like huge fan of it, and I have nothing against it. I mean, it's fun, and it wasn't like I was dying right away. I wasn't good, but I wasn't dying right away. But
it's just like music and everything else. Different generation, different shit, different whatever. It sounded like an old man. Get off my lawn. Yeah. But we did watch Ready Player One with my son-in-law and my stepdaughter there, and there were times I had to explain pop culture references.
Oh.
I'm like,
you mean like every other minute?
Yeah. But my son-in-law is pretty cool. He's seen an awful lot, but I've discovered he hasn't seen like, Young Frankenstein and a couple of other movies. And, I'm like, all right, one of these, every time you come to my house, I'm going to have to break you in on a movie here. So
wait a minute. He hasn't seen Young Frankenstein, and you let him marry your daughter?
He's well, I have no say in the matter. But,
yeah, so like Blake had.
No, he's a good guy. I like him.
If
he was an asshole, I'd say it.
I did watch Major League this weekend twice.
Oh man, God, I want baseball. Yeah.
So we watched it on AMC, and I actually let my son watch it, my oldest, and he loved it. And I really can't. I mean, that spring training scene, just the whole spring training, it makes me crack up every single time. I can't stop laughing. Every little thing in that. When Willie Mays Hayes is waving his handkerchief, and shit, I've been cut already, and just everything. We were hats and sleeves in this league, son. Just every little thing is beautiful about it.
And
here in the contract, I don't have to do any calisthenics. I deem unnecessary.
Yeah.
And
but you know what makes that movie great is because it's iconic in the fact that it's basically a stalwart thing that you can relate to 20 plus years afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Because it's basically pillars of baseball that they make fun of, including the shitty Indians, and and you can watch it, you can understand the jokes, and you can get it, right?
Yes.
I watched another movie I watched this weekend, cooped up in a hotel, Austin Powers and the Spy Who Shagged Me. Remember several weeks ago I said I watched Wayne's World and Wayne's World 2 back to back, and the pop culture jokes. Same thing, with the younger crowd in their mid-20s. Some things they don't understand why it's so funny, and I'd explain, well, this is why this is funny, and ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And so now it's not funny because I explained
so it's not funny. It won't stand the test of time, because it's so
of its time.
So of its time that it's not going to have a lot of lasting, except as we get older, we'll watch it like, oh my god, that's so funny. Oh my god, you can't do that nowadays. Like Mustafa. For example, the outrage that would come out, for that. But
all right, I just saw something today. This topic made me think of this.
Okay.
Apparently, very prevalent in the 30s and 40s that it was like in a bunch of movies. But there was a phrase about being free, white, and 21.
What?
Oh, you can't do that. Well, hell, I can't. I'm free, white, and 21. Or, I'm an adult. You can't tell me what to do. Well, yeah, I'm a white adult, apparently in the 30s and 40s. And apparently this phrase was used all the time, that it was common. And I'm like, it's like, because I saw someone had tweeted it out. And I'm like, I never heard of that. And like everybody who responded on Twitter was like, I never heard that phrase before either. But there was a clip of like 30 movies where they used that phrase or a form of that phrase in it.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, I can understand why that phrase died out. But apparently it was pretty freaking popular in the 30s and 40s.
Speaking of things that should not be popular, we did have a Twitter poll this week. It was on the Bad Ideas podcast Twitter page. It's what is the best Yui Bull film? And because we talked Yui Bull last week, and Blake, you weren't here, but
man, I didn't get a chance to listen to, by the way. So
we talked Yui Bull, and his films, his best ones, In the Name of the King, Alone in the Dark, Blood Rain, and House of the Dead. In last place is In the Name of the King, which I might actually have to say is probably his best one. Don't you think, Jeff?
No.
Oh.
No, I do not think that was his best one.
The last tied for second is Blood Rain and House of the Dead at 23%, meaning Alone in the Dark is his best one at 46%. Jeff, which one would you vote?
Of those four, I didn't vote this week. I didn't see it in time, but I think I would actually go House of the Dead.
Wow.
Just because it's supposed to be a cheap B horror movie.
Yeah.
D horror movie. And it does that well. Like In the Name of the King and Alone in the Dark felt like it was trying to be more than what it could be.
Yeah.
And what was the fourth one? I forget what the fourth
Blood
one was.
Rain.
Oh, yeah, I never saw Blood Rain and never had a desire to see that one.
House of the Dead had Clint Howard in it, so that can't be bad.
Exactly.
So that can't be bad. Alone in the Dark did have Christian Slater in it, and Tara Reid.
Tara Reid. I remember when that movie came out and they were interviewing Tara Reid, and she was talking about how she got to play a scientist, and she had to use big words.
And what was the biggest word she used in there, Jeff?
I think it was archaeologist.
And Newfoundland, and she screwed that up.
Well, I think Yui Bull probably screwed that up, but yeah,
True.
It's like, it was in Newfoundland.
I think I saw those air clips. What are those called again? Those
takeouts or
takeouts. She kept calling it astrology.
but she was like on whatever Tonight Show or whatever talk show, like talking about this movie and how she got to be a scientist and say big scientific words. And I think archaeology was about the only scientific word she said in the whole thing.
Like, is someone breaking into your house, or are you getting a beer?
I'm getting a beer.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to know what beer it is?
Yeah, what are you getting?
It's a Weihenstephaner.
Hey, that's what I drank this weekend.
Awesome. Because you and I have good taste.
I just couldn't pronounce it properly, but yes.
It's the original. I like their Hefeweizen. It's pretty good too. They're known for that as well.
What? Oh my God! I think Blake just left the house. Somebody's breaking in.
No, I'm going out on my back porch because it's a beautiful night.
Oh, he's enjoying the outside weather. I'm jealous now. I'm stuck inside on my computer, even though I'm on a laptop and I couldn't walk outside. But
make sure COVID's not out there. Make sure.
I think those birds are full of COVID.
We'll find out in 7 days.
Yeah. Well, the world's going to.
I'll give you an update next week.
This week
on the podcast.
We were talking if you ever want to see herd immunity and see if it works, the protest and people going outside, that's one way to throw everybody into the fire. Let's see what goes on.
Yeah, we're slowly going to open states. Phase 1, everybody swarm outside.
Well, I saw the perfect meme. It's like, the rules, like no gatherings excess of 12 people, no protests of more than 100. And the guy's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm having a protest in my backyard this weekend. Come bring a topic that you're pissed off about, and we'll discuss it and protest it."
We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out what happens here. So,
probably nothing. It's summertime.
I'm hoping. I'm ready to get back to normal here, or somewhat normal.
Me too.
Let's see here.
My hope is that the deadliest strain of the virus killed itself off because it killed all the hosts of the deadly strains, so it's lesser strains that are left.
That's to go too deep into it, but that is the report coming out of France that they think, or Italy, I'm sorry, that they think that it's mutated into a lesser form. Again, the preliminary results they said, so don't read too much into it.
Oh yeah, it's all true. I mean, we're not.
Well, it's also summertime, heat.
Correct.
And you have vitamin D and sunlight. And so, where are the Italians? They're going to be outside in La Striata. So, and the big problem they had there is that society has nonas and nanas living in close quarters with families, and it's old style Europe, small confined spaces, and that's the everybody lives combination right there.
You live within 6 feet of your neighbor.
Yeah, well, then within 1 feet of your grandma. So that's why they had such a high death rate.
Who said today that asymptomatic people may not be spreading the virus?
I saw that. Now that we're getting reliable data from around the world, not just China.
Wait a minute. No. We're not allowed to listen to WHO anymore since our government is pulled out of WHO and is not funding them anymore.
That's the first time the president has pulled out of anything.
But
they did say that there was another report. Harvard, their medical research facility, was talking today that based on hospital accounts and everything else, they think the virus is actually in China in October, not December. That was the other thing today.
Well, yeah. I mean, everyone's saying it was everywhere months before it was actually claimed to be. And like I said, they're saying it wasn't in the U.S. till February, and they're saying it was probably here in December. So
yeah,
and earlier. Now,
on lighter news, right. Blake, let's get some listener feedback. You got anything over? Let's do something.
Listener feedback. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sponsored by, I don't know.
Minneapolis.
PD.
They need the funds.
I don't know. Let's pick a good happy topic.
Weihenstephaner.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, you caught me off guard. I didn't know we were jumping to feedback, but I'm about to go listen to the Uwe Boll interview from last week.
Well, we didn't interview him.
Oh, you just talked to him, but you didn't.
No, talked about him.
Oh, about him.
Oh, please,
okay.
No.
No. We interviewed him. Yes, please, just listen to the whole episode.
Okay. All right.
You know what? If I can get a Uwe Boll interview, I will.
There you go. When next time we have the great Jason C. Brown, Hollywood director on, maybe we see if he can pull strings and he can get Uwe Boll for us.
Or Kevin James.
Uwe Boll has given up directing and lives in Vancouver now.
So
really?
Although he's, or at least last year, was very active on Twitter, so you might just have to ask him on Twitter. Or maybe challenge him to a boxing match.
No. I think he fights dirty.
No, okay. So, of course, we start off with this guy.
Fans?
Doug.
Number one fan?
Number one fan. That's
7.
right. Formerly known as.
7.
This better be more than a breath of silence. Ken Riley is the 5th most in career interceptions, and of the top 8 in this category, the only one not in the Hall of Fame. Discuss this outrage.
He should be in the Hall of Fame. I have no problem with that.
If he didn't play for the Bengals, maybe people might know who he is.
And he played for the Bengals when they didn't have the striped helmets, so that doesn't either.
My background today, my wallpaper is Ken Riley. It's going to be changing to another. It's going to be changing to another football god here in a little bit. I got one more, so. Okay. But yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. I have no problem with that.
Gronkowski?
Oh God.
I'm guessing that's who you're changing your.
No, God, no, never a Patriot. Come on. Come
He's
on.
not a Patriot anymore.
Well, that's true. He's a Buck. 24/7 champion too. X.
No, X, he lost.
Yes. No, with Riley, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe Peter King, the hack writer from that used to be on CNNSI, who's now on Pro Football Talk, which is just as shitty. Fuck you. Maybe he'll vote for him because he has such great power. He wanted Darren Sharper. He wanted the conversation that he should be on the ballot. So convicted rapist. So let's get him in there too.
Oh yeah.
Well, does the Pro Football have a character clause in their Hall of Fame?
It may not, but it should. It should definitely go into it. If Chris Benoit
when you put up statues of murderers outside your stadiums, yeah, I think anything's fair game.
If Chris Benoit's not in the WWE Hall of Fame, then I think if they have if the WWE has more ethics than the NFL, that's an issue.
Because the WWE is the level that sets the bar.
They don't let murderers in. So
I'm sure somebody who they've elected in has killed somebody.
Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka.
Now, did they remove him from the Hall of Fame?
I don't think they ever did.
Didn't he have like some kind of brain trauma, encephalopathy, or whatever that is?
Yeah,
like NFL players.
Yeah, Jimmy Snuka basically didn't know who he was, so he couldn't even stand trial. Oh. Like the judge said that he's so far of it, and then he passed away 6 months later. But like they removed everything. They removed him from WWE, and then after that, they just kind of quietly put him back. So because his daughter still wrestles for that. Well, wrestles quote unquote because she can't.
Well, kind of like Hogan, they. Made a big deal to pull him out of the Hall of Fame and all the other shit, and then they slowly put him back.
Yeah. So
once the heat died down.
Real quick, it is kind of funny. Blake, you may even get like this. They real quick here. I was watching Dark Side of the Ring documentary on Vice that does some bad things in wrestling that have happened. And they did a documentary on Owen Hart falling from the rafters, dying in that. Which was heartbreaking. It was just heartbreaking. But
I just didn't mean that. But wow, that was bad.
What?
Heartbreaking?
Oh, I didn't even mean that. Okay. Jesus.
Man, at least take credit for it. Say, yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. No, it was sad. It was very sad. But his wife started this foundation, has helped tons of people, families get into housing in Canada. His son is now being a human rights attorney. The daughter, I forget what she was doing. She was doing something really important. And they asked her, they're like, the wrestling fans get mad because you won't let WWE put Owen Hart into the Hall of Fame. Like WWE cannot use his likeness because his wife Martha won't let it happen. And she's like, yeah, Owen Hart, she's like, it was a small part of him. He was a wrestler. It was his career. And she's like, for them to get mad at me, to not allow them to, for the company that killed him, that played a part in his death, that she said, to put him into an imaginary Hall of Fame that's not even real is ridiculous. And I go, well played. That is true. There's not even a physical Hall of Fame. Who cares? So I just thought that was kind of funny that, they're getting mad at me for not letting him into an imaginary Hall of Fame. Good job, guys. Well done, wrestling fans. Anyway.
The only thing that's missing from that is if it was on TV, and as she's saying that and finishes it, a guy in a referee shirt slides in behind her on the floor and goes,
wow. I was trying to be sincere here, Blake, and this is what you do.
Sincere by saying heartbreaking? Damn! That was cruel.
I hate you, Jeff. I hate you.
Thank you.
Keep going, Blake.
This is from Nisi. Thank you for uploading an episode last week to us, Pod Addicted Souls. You are definitely helping my cause of taking my mind off things. # the real world sucks.
Thank you.
That was nice. The real world does suck. It sucks even more when you're a 16-year-old Indiana girl who goes to Florida and gets pregnant by some Disney World Tinkerbell trapeze artist from China.
No, you got the story all wrong.
You weren't here
What?
last week, Blake. She addressed it.
Ah, you're lying.
No, go back. She addressed it last week.
Fake.
Yes, right after the Huey Bowl interview.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jeez, old Pete's. But thank you, Nisi, for the kind words. We appreciate it.
Yeah, sweet.
Yes, the real world does suck.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a Mega Millions ticket tonight. I want to be rich.
Oh, I should have done that.
How much is it?
410 million, I think.
I was gonna say $2.
That's what I usually end up winning. Damn it.
Oh, but yeah, last week we needed it for our own sanity for everything going on.
Yeah,
So
I tried not to pay
other
attention
people
to
might
the
need
news.
it too.
Yeah. We understand that. We understood that. We understood that some people
I tried
needed
enjoying
breaks.
my vacation, but I had to peep in a little bit to see, what was, going on. So hopefully everybody learns from something and gets better,
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we understand anybody who needed to not do stuff last week and had to either observing the blackout or just needed a break for their own mental health. But we certainly still support people who had reasons not to. We felt for us, we had to do it.
We definitely needed it. We needed it. So, what else we got?
From that Bill Sweeney, not the other one.
Nope.
That Bill Sweeney.
That Bill Sweeney.
Is Batman just Daredevil with more money?
No,
Batman can see.
Exactly. Of course, there is that joke that it's like, all right, if before these comic creations came out, and someone told me that, okay, there's going to be two superheroes. One's going to be a blind guy who uses echolocation to fight crime, and the other is going to be, a rich guy who has all these contraptions who likes to, jump from building to building. And you told me which one was Daredevil and which one was Batman. I'd punch you in the face.
Makes sense to me.
Some quick things here on Batman. The one that with Robert Pattinson. That's coming out.
Do we really need this movie? I was just thinking about this the other day. Do we really need it?
Well, he says that he's not working out as hard as the other ones did because he doesn't think it's necessary because Batman doesn't need to be intimidating.
Well, he's also saying he's not working out like during the shutdown.
Correct.
Hollywood is shut down, and he's not keeping up, with his strict regimen because he doesn't think, you should be displaying that sort of, body image that's like impossible to maintain, especially when there's no need. They're not filming, so why would he even?
They are
want
next
that
week. They are next week.
Where are they filming?
Hollywood opened back up. You can start filming now.
But are they? I heard a lot of the studios, even
there's
though
going to be a lot of
wide
angle pan shots.
They said next week is I think when the studio starts, but there's a lot of restrictions. Makeup artists and all that, they're wearing masks. They're limited on how much time they can do. You know what? Jason C. Brown would be great for this. Hey Blake, why don't you do something and get Brown on here?
Yeah, call Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing nothing for the last 2 months. Why hasn't he been on since?
Yeah. Come on, Blake.
Because I suck.
Jay, do you have his Skype number? Just
Yeah,
call him up. See if he answers.
I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him right now. Yeah, there he is. Let me call him.
The worst he can do is ignore us. So.
We're used to that. See Jason C. Brown call. Anyways, the other thing is I've been calling Tony from Salty Language 5 times already, so don't feel bad.
We'll only be ignored once by Jason.
Oh, Jason C. Brown's unavailable. Man. Avatar 2. No, with Batman, they're also saying this is the best part, Blake. You ready for this? You ready? Oh,
God.
There's a new version of the Joker in it, and it's going to be over the 3 movies. It's a trilogy with him in the Batman ones.
It's a
Jesus
new
Christ.
version. I thought I heard weren't they talking about doing the Jared Leto version for those films?
That got turned down. They're now looking at
Oh, geez, that was just like 2 days ago. I read that.
they're looking at William Dafoe. They're trying to get him to do it.
Dafoe. Well, he's already been the Green Goblin. I don't need him to be the Joker.
Was he? Because all I saw was a robotic mask. I didn't see
I'm
anything
sorry.
with William Dafoe.
He was Norman Osborn. How's that?
Okay, thank you. Because I don't know what
We don't know who the Green Goblin was, but Dafoe was Norman Osborn.
I don't know what that green thing was, Jeff, but that was not the Green Goblin. I don't know what that was.
And I don't know why they thought they were going to be able to pass that off. Like, oh, it's going to be better that we do this hard plastic mask than try to, I don't know, be somewhat close to what the comic.
They tried to Iron Man him a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, it's like, let's just ignore the source material. Well, we want to make this movie based off the source material, but we'll ignore what we think people like.
The good news is Dafoe has no good facial expressions ever, so we wouldn't need to get with that. What?
I mean, I can understand like the X-Men, not throwing them in yellow spandex because in reality that looks terrible.
Or whatever the hell Gambit's wearing, like it protects his hair and his chin, but that's it. That's
no, it doesn't protect his hair because his hair sticks out from the top.
Sorry, forehead and the chin.
Yes.
His little fucking half, not even a half, it's like a third of a mask. I don't even know what that is.
It's not even a mask because his entire face is exposed.
He doesn't even have gloves that stop. They have holes in them. He's a fucking slumlord. I don't even know what it is.
He wears gloves that cover some fingers because those are the fingers he uses to thieve with, and he won't leave fingerprints behind. But then he needs to keep the other ones fingerless so he can activate his mutant power on the playing cards.
Throwing playing cards at people. Woo!
I just made that up on the spot. You think that's a good enough argument? Can I take that on the road with me?
If you would have told me in the creators meeting, I got this new character. He throws playing cards. Does he have a weapon? A staff. I guess.
Really, because it sounds cool to me.
Well, it's better than that fucking raincoat girl that you had over there, Jubilee, that throws fireworks. I guess. Throw Gambit in there.
Raincoat girl? You know she was designed as a copy of Robin?
No.
She was. Look at her original costume versus the classic Robin costume.
She wears a fucking yellow raincoat.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Robin wore a yellow cape.
I don't remember that.
Her color patterns are the
red, green, and yellow.
Bird Boy or whatever. What does he have a good nickname?
Who?
Boy Wonder. That's
Boy Wonder.
Boy Wonder.
She
was Wolverine's Robin.
That does remind me, Jeff. You were talking about inappropriate things. Like looking back now, comics has had tons of them. Comic books.
Oh yeah.
I have a comic book of Batman, and his arch nemesis in that issue was the Sheik, and he was in Middle Eastern gear, and he was riding a flying camel in Gotham, and that was the cover. And I was like, that does not age well. It didn't age well back then.
Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous, I think, then, but
yeah, he's riding a flying camel. I'm like, oh, gee, I wonder why. So.
If you had a flying camel, you'd ride it.
I probably they spit. I don't know.
But it's flying. I mean, if you had 12 different types of flying animals, I can understand you might not take the camel. But if the only flying animal you had was a camel,
I would probably take the flying goat. I like the flying goat. I feel like that would work.
Probably couldn't even lift your weight.
Oh no, God no. But
I've got so many inappropriate jokes right now.
I got 2 flying goats. How about 2 of them? That would help even out the weight.
Do you string up between? Put you on a string between the two?
Nothing. I'm a villain with flying goats. What, Blake?
No, I was going to say, you're talking about the Green Goblin, and you're talking about how messed up that was, and you think about Bill What's his name? Patterson, what's his name? And we know he's no Christian Bale. Robert Patterson. You know he's no Christian Bale. And you're saying, how can you make that happen? We've answered this question before. So when you let fucking assholes in Hollywood that aren't fans of the art make the decisions on this stupid ass shit, I guarantee you there's probably some producer in there who had just seen Iron Man and was thinking that they need to make Green Goblin's outfit like Iron Man's. It's stupid shit.
I think Spider-Man was first, though, wasn't it?
The president from Sony. I don't know.
The movie? Yeah, the Spider-Man movie was before the Iron Man movie.
Wait, Blake.
All right, well, don't shit on my point, okay?
No, I'm just saying, but he still probably thought Iron Man looked cooler than the Green Goblin.
Hey, Blake. I bet
I don't know.
You know who came up with the idea? Amy fucking Pascal.
Amy fucking Pascal. Damn Sony president.
What else we got?
All right, Bill Sweeney, did we answer your question?
I hope so.
All right, Sean, Pittsburgh Nerd. How is Bill O'Brien in charge of anything in Houston? That's the head coach / general manager of the Houston Texans for non-NFL podcast listeners. Of course, I asked the same thing about Jason with the status of Hobie.
No.
I don't need to explain Jason with the status of Hobie.
I will say, to Sean's credit, he did send this question in about 2 months ago when the terrible trade that Houston was involved in when they traded that one guy away.
DeAndre Hopkins?
That's his name. They traded Hopkins away and got like some, I don't know, toothpicks or something.
Got some schmuck in return. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. DeAndre Hopkins, you think if you're Deshaun Watson, he's like the only viable guy to throw to.
Hey, my ears
they got Kiki Cootie, don't they?
Oh, God. Yeah, whatever.
I'm just happy.
Now's his chance.
So,
and Jason's in charge because he's the one that actually does stuff.
Thanks.
If just one of us like attempted to do stuff, we might be able to wrestle the power away from Jason, but I'm too lazy.
Be like Garth on the couch by himself in Wayne's World.
That's fine, Jeff. I have cookies here. You don't have to do anything. I got my own studio. I'm doing fine over here.
I know.
The cookies were upside down. I bet you didn't know you're eating them upside down.
You eat cookies upside down?
I do.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
That's why I call Oreos.
History of bad ideas. Who else would come up with history of bad ideas? Not a history podcast.
What else we got, Blake?
Can you imagine all the history buffs out there? Oh, I wonder what this is about. Oh, Jesus Christ.
See,
I'm stupid now.
That might be the bad idea for the end of the episode.
I already got one. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Let's finish this up, Blake. What do you got?
Professor number one and Dr. number one. Yeah, I come looking for a history podcast to educate myself because I want to learn things. Oh, history of bad ideas.
What? We talk stuff. We get a history lesson in once in a while. Come on. We're talking about the history of COVID.
Yeah. The history of something that is 6 months old?
Yeah, that's a really bad idea for a virus, man. Who came up with that one? That sucks.
Anyways, what do you got, Blake?
Yeah, history of COVID-19. Oh, it was here in December. Oh, maybe October. We don't know.
October of 2018? I don't know.
All right, Professor, I know. Professor number one and Doctor number one. Who is more of a horrible person? Leah Michelle or Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen.
Leah.
Well, who's Leah Michelle first? You have
From
to fill
Glee.
me in.
Here's the star of Glee.
She was came out this week that she was basically when she was 23, 24 and on Glee. And she was the star of it, wasn't it?
No. She was 23 or 24 when the show began. She was 28 or 29 when the show ended.
Oh, so the last still in high school?
No, she wasn't even playing high school by the end. She was but the somebody who co-starred or background player or something was talking about how shitty Leah Michele was to her when they were on the thing, because she's a fucking Michelle's diva and is pretty much shitty to everybody else she doesn't deem as good as her.
So the rest of the cast started coming out and saying, yeah, she's pretty much a bitch and was mean to everybody. The good news is Karma got her because she really hasn't had much of a career since then. So that's good. And all the other co-stars were kind of laughing about that on Twitter, that she hasn't done much since then. Ellen has had some bad things too. There's not one person that has said anything good about her that has worked for her. So
yeah, there's a whole bit about her fake happiness and her dancing and all that kind of stuff. You can go listen to other podcasts and get it. They break that shit down pretty well.
I'm at least going to say, I think at one point in Ellen's life, she might have been a happy, nice person.
Now
I want to know how could she get Portia de Rossi? How the fuck does that happen?
Money.
But
like when Ellen was a young, struggling
comedian,
I think she was probably better, but then fame got her. I have a feeling Leah Michele has always been
miserable,
self-entitled, terrible person.
All right, I'm going to go with Ellen because I'm going to break this down into two genres. One's a shitty person to work with. One's a shitty person to work for. And working for is a hell of a lot worse than working with.
True. How about
Blake's
both
argument
shitty?
Wins.
And I'm jealous because she married Portia de Rossi.
Beer flavored nipples. That's why.
But yeah, Blake, good argument.
Thank you.
Whoa!
I have to admit, when it's there.
Whoa! What the hell's going on?
You can work with a shitty person much easier than you can work for a shitty person.
Yeah,
that's true. Let's see here. Jeff, we're going to riddle me this next week when everybody's back. News.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't have any expertise on that next one there.
Yeah, I'm we have to pick wrestlers into a show that
recast the Fast and Furious franchise with 1980s WWE stars.
Yeah. The franchise. I know two people from the first movie.
Well, Paul Walker's character, you could add anybody that died in the WWF since 1980s.
That's most of them.
Owen Hart.
But I'm I know Paul Walker and Vin Diesel.
Isn't what's her name from the Lost on there too?
Leah Michele?
No.
I didn't think she was in the first. Was she in the first? The one from Avatar and
what's her name? Maria? I can't remember.
Not Maria.
Mendoza?
No. Crap. I forgot her name. My brain not working.
Wilson.
Everyone's sitting at home screaming, "Oh my God! It's what's her name?
Girl."
Well, now you're making me look it up.
Jason
knows it, and he's not even telling us.
Intern Hackney is a big fan of the Fast and Furious, so I don't want to do it without him. Jeff, can you do me an intro for News of the Geek?
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Blake was heartbroken this weekend.
Correct.
Per CNN, thousands of Braves.
Would you let me
get the story out?
We've covered this before on the podcast.
Michelle Rodriguez, that's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right.
Was she in the first? Yeah, you didn't even say it. Was she in the first
one?
Oh, okay. Because there was that other girl in the first one. I didn't know if Michelle Rodriguez was in the first one. Jordana Brewster, is that her name?
Yes. Jordana Brewster. Anyways,
Punky Brewster was in that movie?
Yes. Soleil Moon Fry was in it. And her dog, too. We did talk about this before, but now it's been found. So thousands of brave souls have ventured into the Rocky Mountains for the past decade, searching for a treasure chest filled with gold, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. That adventure has finally come to an end as the treasure has been found. Boris Fenn, the 89-year-old art and antiques collector.
Antiquities.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Anyways, who created the treasure hunt made the announcement Sunday on his website. Quote, it was under a canopy of stars in the lush forested vegetation of the Rocky Mountains and had not moved from the spot where I hid it more than 10 years ago, he wrote. I did not know the person who found it, but the poem in my book led him to the precise spot. The treasure was found by a man who did not want to be named, so that's anticlimactic.
Would you want to be named if you found a lot of money? Yeah, exactly.
He noted, however, that the man was from back east and that he confirmed his discovery by sending Fenn a photograph of his newfound riches. The treasure, estimated to be worth over $1 million, was a way for Fenn to inspire people to explore nature and to give hope to people affected by the Great Recession. Clues leading to the treasure's location were included in a 24-line poem, published in Fenn's 2010 autobiography, The Thrill of the Chase. He estimated that as many as 350,000 people from all over the world went hunting for the treasure, according to the newspaper New Mexican. Some quit their jobs to fully dedicate their lives to the hunt, and some even died while doing it.
Okay, now that was a little bit stupid.
A little extreme, yeah.
Yes. He says, I congratulate the thousands of people who participate in the search and hope they will continue to be drawn by the promise of other discoveries. Blake?
Yes.
Did you find a treasure last week? You weren't in Florida, were you?
No, unfortunately, I was not in the Rocky Mountains. But you know what's really neat about this is that he originally put this out there because he was also fighting cancer, wasn't he?
Yes.
And he thought he was going to die, and he wanted to do, put some of that stuff out there as well.
Yeah.
And what's pretty funny is that he puts this out here and is like, I'm going to die. This is a legacy. And then he wins. This fight against cancer. God bless him.
And now he's poor. He has no money.
So did they actually say where it was now that someone found it?
Rocky Mountain.
No,
thank you. I told you that's where it was before.
It would be pretty cool if maybe this guy eventually will come forward and talk about the poem and actually go over the clues and the exact location. Otherwise, now you got a bunch of people running around the Rocky Mountains looking for a hole.
Hey, Blake.
Freshly dug.
I apologize for your retirement plan. I apologize. That's been
I know. I'm got to do something else now. That's why I bought a lottery ticket.
Good call. It's a good call. This might be our favorite and weirdest news article in quite some time.
Quite some time.
Per the great source Yahoo Finance, in Madrid, Spain, a porn star.
I love the fact that this is under Yahoo Finance.
I know.
Because when you read this story, why in the fuck is this under Yahoo Finance? What editor let this through?
Yahoo has editors.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's the internet.
Yeah, Yahoo didn't even have editors when they were trying to make their own original programming.
That's a good call. Where do you find their programming? I don't know.
I'll Google it.
In Madrid, Spain, a porn star has been arrested on manslaughter charges following a man's death during a mystic ritual in which he inhaled psychedelic toad venom, Spanish police said. Nacho Vidal was detained last week in southeastern Valencia region. Haha, I said that right. In connection with the death of a man, Jose Abad, in July 2019. Quote, the police operation began following the victim's death during the celebration of a mystic ritual based on the inhalation. Jeff, help me out there.
Inhalation?
Thank you. Of venom of the Bufo alvarius toad.
Bufo alvarius.
Yeah, that's what I said. The toad, a rare...
I thought you said buffalo toad.
I did think it could be. Maybe it is a buffalo toad. The toad, a rare species which is native to the Sonoran Desert.
Sonoran.
Exactly. Secretes venom. Intern would be drunk. Secretes venom containing a very powerful natural psychedelic substance known as 5-MeO-DMT. Its effects have been compared to another powerful hallucinogenic concoction from the Amazon and consumed as part of a shaman ritual. Following an 11-month inquiry, the police arrested Vidal, one of his relatives, and an employee on suspicion of manslaughter, and crimes against public health. I like that
Just
one.
crime against public health.
You know what? You probably shouldn't have done that. What can we get him on? Crimes against public health.
All right,
He
that
is
works.
a porn star. He's probably spreading some kind of STD.
Investigators said they had discovered such rituals were being carried out regularly on grounds that they provided medical benefits. This
Medicinal.
is the best part. Medicinal. Anyways, in reality, this is the best part. This apparently harmless ancestral ritual posed a serious health risk, luring people who were easily influenced, vulnerable, or who were seeking help for illnesses or addictions. Local press said the ceremony took place in the country residence of Vidal. A media-savvy porn star in his 40s whose Twitter feed is full of ads for his 25-centimeter aromatic candles. Candles of the male genitalia, available in black, white, or Circe's. I like that this porn star is selling candles in the shape of penises.
It's not shocking.
And he's also doing rituals from a toad. I like that. Good for him.
You know, if you're gonna go, I guess, inhale toxic vapors to get high in a ritual, you know, a Spanish male porn star isn't my first choice to administer this to me. Unless I wanted to get access to his 25-centimeter candles.
I don't know how big 25-centimeter aroma can. How much is 25 centimeters?
That's
2.5
2
inches,
decameters
or
and
2.5.
250 millimeters.
Thank you.
Isn't it, what, about 2.5 centimeters per inch or something? So 10, 11 inches.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what she said. So, I just like that whole story. Just like, what the fuck just happened here? And where in your life do you think it's a good idea that, like you said, inhaling toad venom might be a good idea?
We need to find a 25-centimeter aromatic candle and a 12-inch, dildo to compare the sizes, I think.
Is it bigger in Spain?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Why didn't we get that intern to work on this for next week?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can just get a ruler.
That's fine.
No, needs to be visual.
If you would like a aromatic candle, we'll be giving them away as prizes at the Society Comic Expo coming September 11th through 13th. We're not.
Well, we can't confirm that.
No. And finally, we got some quickies. Hercules, the Prince of Power, has been rumored to appear in upcoming Marvel Studio releases in the past. Most recently, the next one, Eternals. And his name has now resurfaced in connection with a future Marvel movie or TV project. Cinema Spot reckons the legendary Olympian hero is set to make his live-action debut in the near future. Well, that was concrete. Thanks, Cinema Spot.
You know what's cool? Is if they actually took the legendary Olympian and called him by the right name.
Sure.
Well, Hercules is his Roman name. Heracles is his Greek name. So if he's Olympian, he'll be Greek.
I'll take Heracles. I think that's a better name anyways.
It is.
They're not sure if it's going to be a movie or one of Disney Plus shows currently in development, but they're pretty confident he will show up soon because there are several upcoming projects. You ready for this, Blake? That Marvel is making that will have time travel or alternate dimensional elements.
Oh, boy. Because we can't think of anything fucking worthwhile to write about.
There is another rumor coming out there that Tony Stark might come back for future movies because they might find a way. Stop it. Just stop it. You don't need it.
I'd rather watch a Xena Warrior Princess remake.
Well, damn straight.
That's right.
My issue is that
Sci-Fi Channel had a marathon of Xena Warrior Princess last week.
Much better than Hercules with Kevin Sorbo. That douche, allegedly. My thing is, though, this is what runs. That's why people get upset with comic books because they keep bringing characters back. Stop it. We don't need to bring more characters back in Marvel, just in the movies.
And we don't need to bring Hercules in. I never liked the Marvel Universe's version of Hercules.
I didn't have a problem with him. I liked him on West Coast Avengers.
I never liked him on anything.
I liked Tigra.
He was just a stupider version of Thor.
He's better than Sentry.
Yeah, that was just a failed character.
Yeah,
They don't keep trying to bring Sentry back. They keep trying to have Hercules come back. And
No, that's the problem. They have Sentry back. They just keep trying to use him. That's the issue. Stop it.
do they? I thought they stopped trying to use him.
I hope so. God. Hey, remember
I
when
don't know.
Sentry was
Has anybody even done a good Greek Hercules version yet?
Disney animated film?
Oh, he said a good one.
I said a good one.
Herc's on a roll.
Why don't we try
I
and
suppose
master that
Schwarzenegger
first
had
before
the
we go to the
closest.
MCU one?
Schwarzenegger probably had the closest.
Is
When he-
Conan?
Hercules in New York.
When he threw the bear into space.
I
Was
I
that
don't
the
know.
one?
Did he throw a bear into space?
Yeah. Hercules did.
The Schwarzenegger when he was
Yeah.
in New York.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
dead serious. Why don't you believe me, Jeff?
'Cause I didn't remember that. But then
Oh.
again, I don't remember more than like 10 seconds of the movie. So that's probably all I watched.
It's not a good movie. It's not. So, that is all I have for my what is this? News of the Geek. Jeff, we actually have some box office battles this week.
I know. I mean, it's like people have been going to movies.
It's coming back.
The number one picture in its opening weekend, Becky, made $205,797.
Good.
Now, is this your that's a terrible. That's a guy's crotch, Jason. We don't need to see that.
Hercules did not do well. That did not get well for pictures. Anyways, go ahead.
But Beck, is that your Kevin James movie?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, he's at two. They're at 205,797. What's next, Jeff? Look at this.
The Wretched made $205,142.
Lost by $655. Now that's a box office battle.
That's probably
neck
the
to
closest second place battle ever.
Yeah.
The Wretched made a total of over $1,110,000.
There was good for them. The Wretched, they said, is the little film that just keeps on doing well. I think it was a $40,000 budget is what the rumor was. So good for them.
That's great considering it's out during the worst time for theaters ever.
Yeah.
And made that much back on top of its budget. Number 3, Strike, made $795, a total of over $11,000. Number 4, Sex and the Future, made $745 in its opening weekend.
Hey, that's a $50 difference from fourth to third.
Again, probably the closest difference ever from a fourth to third. And then the Fox Hunter made $602 in its opening weekend, finishing in 5th.
You think there's a lot of high fives in the Fox Hunters press box? their opening party.
Yeah.
That drink. You spent more on beer at this party than you did for the making it this week. Damn it!
The movie studios. Actually, the way we figure it, you owe us $200.
What do we got coming up, Jeff?
Upcoming, we haven't had this in a while.
I know.
Upcoming, opening June 12th, we have Greenland. I don't know what it's about.
I'll find it for you. So keep going, Jeff.
And also opening the same day, Infamous. Or is that infamous, like meaning more than famous?
I don't know. But Greenland is an upcoming American disaster thriller film directed by Rick Roman Waugh. It stars Gerard Butler, Marina Baccarin, Scott Glenn.
Marina Baccarin, that's enough reason to see it.
Yes. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. I don't know what it's about. That's all they said.
We know who stars in it, and it's some sort of disaster movie. All right.
A family struggles for survival in the face of a cataclysmic natural disaster.
in Greenland?
I don't know. And then what was the other one, Jeff? I'm sorry.
Infamous.
Okay, let me see what we got here. It is kind of interesting. They're releasing a pretty decent sized film, with the stars. I mean, with Greenland when nobody's out. Infamous stars Bella Thorne, so that's a big name right there. Look
It
at
is.
that.
I don't know who it is.
She was in Walking Dead. She was at the Expo one year. So there you go. There you go.
Still don't know who she is.
No, I'm not going.
Former Disney star.
Still don't know who she is.
She made headlines last year for writing and directing a porno scene.
I
should know who she is based on that, but still don't think she is.
Oh, no, this is the wrong one. This one was not at the Expo then. My bad. Wrong one.
No, if Bella Thorne was there, I would have made it more of an attempt to be there myself.
Two young lovers rob their way across the
She is famous for a topless photo. But anyways, keep going.
Two young lovers rob their way across the Southland, posting their exploits to social media and gaining fame and followers. So it's natural-born killers, it sounds
I'm
like.
about to say, should this be in our top 5 list?
Well, I'm changing my top 5. Hold on. So, okay. Jeff, you want to give me some top 5 music?
Top 5.
I'm going to put the real music in. Doesn't matter. From Scary Thoughts over at the Pop Culture Cafe podcast. Give them a listen. Top 5 blatant ripoffs from another movie. So this is a pretty wide area of how you could do it. As all top 5s, we don't really have any rules. So, but blatant ripoffs. So, Jeff, you can start. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
Okay. Is it ripped off the first one?
No, because it ripped off, the superior Chuck Norris movie, Missing in Action, which in itself ripped off Uncommon Valor.
Which ripped off World War II, which ripped off...
No, at least this is all had to do with Vietnam, okay? This is all going back to rescue the Vietnam.
Yes. I see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, they did superior versions of the film, but then Stallone had to get involved and do Rambo: First Blood Part 2.
But instead of Vietnam, he's in Afghanistan?
No, that was Rambo 3 in Afghanistan.
I can't even remember what 2 was.
2 was going back to Vietnam to rescue prisoners of war in Vietnam.
He shoots the flaming arrow.
No wonder I blocked it out of my head.
Blake, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm starting with The Last Jedi. Did you know that this was a ripoff from Human Caterpillar?
Not where I saw that one going.
Well, my number 5.
Thank you, Jeff.
I was about ready to roll my eyes. And, Go ahead,
I hate you all.
Hey, I'm back.
Anyway, my number 5 is going to be Space Mutiny. That was a cheap ripoff of Star Wars back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Blake talked about this 2 weeks ago. It was on Mystery Science Theater.
And it was awesome.
It was supposed to be their way of, showing that, hey, we can do Star Wars in a different way with Reb Brown. It was a small studio that was trying to do it. But they ran out of money halfway through. And it was not good. And I had to suffer through it. But Mr. Science Theater made it great. But I'm going Space Mutiny because they basically tried to copy everything straight from them.
Okay, so So when you say it's your top 5, you actually don't mean top 5, like as in like these are good movies.
Oh no, I did bad.
Oh, this was a horrible movie. It was so bad, it was awesome.
I'm about to say that would be my bottom 5, not
Yeah,
my
this is my
top
bottom 5.
Oh well, we're not crossing over.
I just made a 5 list.
And Blake's is just a 5.
My number 4 is A Vicious Cycle. It's King Solomon's Mines, Indiana Jones, King Solomon's Mines all over again. King Solomon's Mines, the old one. Indiana Jones got a lot of inspiration from that, and then then they made another King Solomon Mines right after Indiana Jones came out. Oh, I'm sorry, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark came out, and we rented it at the video store, the local video store. And I thought, oh, this is going to be awesome. I was like 8 or 9. It was not.
It was Alan Quartermain.
Alan Quartermain in the Lost City of Gold.
Who was the actor in King Solomon's Mines?
I will find that out for you. I'm trying to think who that is.
Chamberlain? Richard Chamberlain?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah, good luck trying to make Richard Chamberlain a Harrison Ford type leading man.
King Solomon Mines was 1985.
Yes.
And it is horrible.
Right. You're touching on a thing of mine, which I have later.
Oh,
so I'm excited that you were thinking similar lines than me.
So we're getting close.
That's correct.
All right, Blake, what is your number 4? Oh, did you have more to say, Jay?
No, that's fine. What's your number 4?
Blake? Who's me?
Yes, you.
The Force Awakens. Did you know that was a ripoff of Star Wars: A New Hope?
I did know that.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
That's why it's my number 4.
It did it better, though.
Did it?
I think
seriously did it.
I think it did.
Be quiet. Quiet.
Real quick, the lead actress in King Solomon's Mines in 1985, Sharon Stone.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
I didn't know that. So, yeah.
I had forgotten that, but yeah.
So okay.
So you know, after Kurt, what's his name? Chamberlain, Richard Chamberlain. Anything after Shogun, all downhill.
Yeah.
Jeff, what you got?
My number 4 is The Fast and the Furious.
Okay.
It's a blatant ripoff of Point Break.
Do you think it is?
With more cars?
What do you mean? A FBI undercover agent tries to infiltrate a sporty villain thieving group and falls in love with the woman. It's Point Break on cars is all it is.
There you go.
I'll be honest, I don't see it.
Point Break on cars. I buy it.
What's your number 3, Jeff?
My number 3 is The Magnificent Seven, which was just a ripoff of the Seven Samurai.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I never saw the original Magnificent Seven, only the remake, Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt. So,
Kurosawa, yeah. Oh God, I saw that. I watched that for about 20 minutes. I was like, I'm done.
It really wasn't that good.
It was really bad.
It could have been good.
I'm sure Yul Brynner's Magnificent Seven was probably a hell of a lot better than that dumbass Magnificent Seven.
Probably.
But if we spoke Japanese, I would probably watch Kurosawa's.
You can read the subtitles.
That requires reading.
Blake, what is your number 3?
Did you know Star Wars: A New Hope was a ripoff of The Hidden Fortress? Ooh.
I know what The Hidden Fortress is.
It's a movie that Star Wars ripped off.
Yes, The Hidden Fortress is actually another Akira Kurosawa correlation, in which The Hidden Fortress follows 2 bumbling servants who accidentally land in the middle of a conflict between 2 warring clans. They escape, join forces with a princess and a former general en route to a secret base. A farmer helps them out along the way and discovers a princess is smuggling gold to restore her family clan. George Lucas has been honest when discussing the influence of the Hidden Fortress on the development of Star Wars, went so far as to consider casting Toshiro Mifune, the actor who played the general in the Hidden Fortress, as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. Mifune would also serve as the partial basis for the character Yoda in Star Wars sequels. Lucas also helped to raise the profile of Kurosawa among American audiences with Star Wars and helped direct and secure financing for subsequent movies.
Well, okay.
I did more research for this one than my Last Jedi ripoff.
Well done.
Oh, I don't know. I think the Last Jedi ripoff is just obvious. How did you point it out?
If I have to explain it, it doesn't work.
Okay, Jason, you're number 3.
I don't even know why I hang out with you guys. Hate you all. Let's see here. My number 3 is Cars. I really liked it, but it's a blatant ripoff of Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox. Down to everything.
I thought you were going to say Planes, which was a blatant ripoff of Cars.
You know what? Go ahead, throw that in there too.
That was what I thought of.
Playmobil in there ripping off Lego.
There you go. No one saw Playmobil.
I almost put GoBots on my list.
Did they have a GoBots movie?
But I think GoBots might have been first.
They had a GoBots TV show.
They did have TV shows.
Yeah.
And
So the lead character in Cars was a doctor? Is that what you're saying?
He was a race car driver, but he gets stuck in a small town and falls in love with the girl there and falls in love with the small town. They rebuild it. They make it popular again. Michael J. Fox is a doctor that gets stuck in a small town, falls in love with the girl there, gets stuck doing work there, and basically he can't leave because he did something, I think, or his car broke down.
he owed him money, and they told him to pay it off by being a doctor in their small town.
Even though he wasn't a doctor. No, I'm just kidding.
Even though he was a race car driver.
Yeah.
That was Jerry.
Like Lightning McQueen in Cars, he destroyed their road, so he had to stay in town until they fixed it. He fixed it, so it was pretty much the same film. And I like Cars though. Number 2 for me is both of these shows were awful. I fucking hate them both, but it's such a blatant ripoff. Mac and Me is a ripoff of E.T. Oh my god. And I tried to watch the Mystery Science Theater version of Mac and Me.
Oh, did they do Mac and Me?
The new ones did on Netflix with Jonah.
I have to look that up.
It's tough to watch, even the Mystery Science Theater one. It's hilarious, but it is bad. And the only
thing I know from Mac and Me is the scene that Paul Rudd plays every time he's on Conan O'Brien.
I don't remember that.
Oh, every time Paul Rudd's on Conan O'Brien, and they're like, all right, well, let's play a clip from your new movie. And they'll play the one clip from Mac and Me.
Yeah.
And then it just like gets, all right, well, like he did it the first time, and then he came on, did it again the second time. So then Conan's like, all right, you're going to do it. No, I really aren't. I really am. And like every time he does. And then like when he was like doing Ant-Man, it's like, okay, well, I know you're going to play Mac and Me. And he's like, no. This is Ant-Man. This is Marvel Cinemas. They're taking this serious. And they start with a clip from Ant-Man, which then goes into Mac and Me.
Mac and Me.
Yeah, that's a good running gag on this show. I loved it. It's pretty funny.
Well, Mac and Me came out after E.T. and it was about an alien befriended by a family and a kid. But McDonald's sponsored a lot of it. So everyone goes to the birthday parties at McDonald's. The Mac and Me is this creepy little fucking alien thing.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he was just creepy looking. Like E.T. for some reason was lovable. Mac is just creepy. Stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, it is. It is. So fuck that movie. I fucking hate E.T. So fuck that movie too. Blake, what's your number 2? If you say Empire Strikes Back, I'm going to fucking cut you.
Did you know The Empire Strikes Back is a really good goddamn movie? Oh, all right, Jason. Similar along your lines. King Solomon's Mines, 1985. Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold. Firewalker, 1986. Sahara, 2005. Romancing the Stone, 1984. Bring 'Em Back Alive, 1982. The Mummy, 1999. Tales of the Gold Monkey, which was a good TV series, by the way, 1982. Tomb Raider, 2001, and Relic Hunter, 1999, are all ripoffs from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, it's the
okay.
Indiana Jones and the
Raiders
Crystal
of the Lost Ark.
Kingdom of the Crystal
Skull.
Skull.
No.
Yes.
I will say that.
Well, yeah, you
At
could
least-
say the Crystal Skull one because all those movies did suck.
No, Romancing the Stone was a good movie.
It was a good movie. That was, Kathleen Turner and her sultry, sexy singing
Hello,
voice.
Blake. How are you? I'm Kathleen.
But
Joan
Tales of
Wilder?
the Gold Monkey, I want to see
You know
Tales of the
Joan
Gold
Wilder?
Monkey again, man.
We put that up there on our website, History of Bad Ideas, or I'm sorry, our Facebook page, a couple months ago about the Tales of the Golden Monkey, and people loved it. People loved
I've been trying to find it but on YouTube, there's this grainy trailer for Tales of the Gold Monkey, but that's about it. I couldn't find any.
I just put up on our Facebook page, History of Bad Ideas, the King Solomon Mines trailer from 1985. I'm sure it's going to look really well. So, Blake, or I'm sorry, Jeff, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is The Hunger Games, which is a ripoff of the Japanese movie Battle Royale.
You know what? That's a good one. Battle Royale is amazing, and it's bloody, and it's weird to watch because there's just kids killing each other. But that is true. Hunger Games is pretty much the straight. They went into more of the society issues and that.
The series went on, but the first book, and movie is pretty much. Oh yeah, kids have to kill each other.
Have you seen Battle Royale?
I actually haven't. I do want to see it, but
it's tough to watch. Like even for me, I'm like, oh, that's a little extreme there. But it's a good film. You know what? You could say after that too, Jeff. What's the Steve Austin one? The Condemned, or when he's on the island?
I can't remember what it was called. That's probably it.
Condemned?
Yeah,
I think it was. And that was a ripoff of Battle Royale.
Well, was it though? It wasn't kids, was it?
No, it wasn't kids. That's true. I like that one actually. With Steve
that's
Austin.
a ripoff of what, The Most Dangerous Game or something. The
Survivor?
story.
Death Race 2000.
Well, I know there was the short story, The Most Dangerous Game, about the rich people bringing regular people onto their island so they can hunt them down and kill them.
Oh, okay. So it's like The Hunt.
Kind of like more violent Dinner for Schmucks.
Yes. Dinner for Schmucks is my number 1.
What's your number 1, Jeff?
My number 1 is The Lion King.
Yeah.
It's a ripoff of, well, besides Hamlet, I'm going with Kimba the White Lion.
It is creepy how close they are. And Disney denies it, but they are identical. Everything about it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is Disney can deny it because they can say, we stole it from Hamlet, which is in public domain.
Yeah.
That and the fact that the Japanese don't really prosecute that type of stuff. That's why you can steal from Japanese films. Like everybody steals from Kurosawa, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And they kind of take it as a compliment, or at least some do. I know Kurosawa was mad at some people for some of their blatant ripoffs, but they do it.
Blake, what's your number 1?
My number 1, when I saw the topic of this, I immediately thought of this movie. Mostly because when you're younger, in like 1980, you're like, oh, that's a really cool movie. And then you like learn more things about it and you realize it's not really an original concept. And it was basically generalized and accepted by Spielberg, saying it was mostly an homage to an awful lot of old movie action adventure films. Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you go and look at Secret of the Incas, Charlton Heston, he is, hat, leather jacket, full-on Indiana Jones ripoff. But the best part about
Except
this
he was first.
Yes, he was first. But he goes back to like other, movies like Raiders of Ghost City. It is actually an homage of about 30 movies that Spielberg collected scenes from,
And Lucas. Don't forget
Lucas. So going back to films of adventure type from 1919 to 1973, I'm going to reference this guy who put this YouTube video together over a period of 2 years that went and got all these movies that Raiders of the Lost Ark is based off of. And basically, for about a 15-minute clip on YouTube, the guy's called Stu TV, Stoo TV. Sound's been removed from the clip because I think Paramount Music or whatever complained to YouTube about not having the license to play the songs that he had that went with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's silent. So if you go watch this guy spent 2 years of his free time of his life basically showing the first 15 minutes of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then taking collages of all these movies for a 60-year period that Lucas and Spielberg essentially paid homage to. Because and you watch this clip and it'll mesh it all together and it'll show you several movies, and it's almost dead on scene for scene ripoffs. It is amazing to watch this, and I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. But they basically came out and said, yeah, it's a homage to the B adventure flicks that I went to go see when I was a kid and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really a ripoff, as they say, is more like an homage. But when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark, because there's so many things that I remember watching an interview with Spielberg talking about the famous Jeep scene where he's got the whip and he's being drugged underneath the Jeep, and behind it, he basically came out and said, yeah, I took that scene from this such and such a movie. And I remember watching this interview and I'm like, well, that's really interesting. That's literally a scene from scene. So this guy, Stu TV, Stoo TV on YouTube, literally goes through and patches all these scenes together, and it is amazing. Yeah, I sit there and I go, wow, Spielberg's a really good homage film guy. Hey, the whole storyline's been a ripoff.
So basically, Steven Spielberg is a scrapbooker.
Well, yeah,
literally.
Think about how he, Lucas with Kurosawa and and all that other kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll tell you what, go watch this. When we get done tonight, go watch this, and it is flippy phenomenal. The scenes are stolen, 1-to-1.
TV.
Yeah.
Okay, my number one is The Last Temptation of Christ, that ripped off the life of Brian.
Oh, I thought you were going to say The Last Testament.
I was going to say the
New Testament.
Bible.
No, I'm just those weren't my things. No, my number one is, of course, one of the worst things I've ever had to see with Jeff. Aragon ripped off Star Wars.
Oh, I forgot that one. Well, then again, I was putting semi-good movies on.
Is that the Dragon Kid or something?
Yes.
Yep.
It's written by a 14-year-old. Looks like it was written by a 14-year-old that just saw Star Wars. Everything's the same. The Force, the swords. The guy, his mentor dies by the evil villain.
He's orphan raised on a farm by his uncle until he stumbles upon the dragon egg / R2D2.
Yeah.
And then the old mentor comes to train him in the ways. And it's like, oh, Lord.
It was bad. Halfway through it, Jeff and I looked at each other and we're like, this is Star Wars, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, just checking. Just checking. Hey, I bet you the mentor dies. Oh, there he goes. Ah, he's dead.
There you go. That's right.
Oh, my God. That's my number one. We had a lot of listener feedback on this one.
Oh, I can see it.
Do we get any new ones in there? What's that?
We got some. Yeah, we did actually. First off, Nisi. She has Sky High and Zoom. Tim Allen versus Kurt Russell. Let's see here.
Oh, I don't even remember Zoom. Which one is Sky High is ripping off Zoom?
I don't think I know those movies.
I think she's just saying that they're pretty much ripped off each other.
Oh, okay. The kind of the Armageddon Deep Impact thing.
Yeah. Bright, which is the Will Smith one, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Will Smith on Netflix.
And Alien Nation. The old time. B movies that didn't even bother to change the name. Pacific Rim versus Atlantic Rim.
Yeah, well, that's
I
that
saw
company
that.
that does that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Number two, this is a good one. Critters and Gremlins.
Yep.
And number
Ghoulies
one,
also. Ghoulies ripped off Gremlins too.
oh God, I forgot about goalies. Number one, this is a good one. White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. So much I thought they were the same movie. I agree. I cannot tell you which one is which.
That's one where they came out like relatively at the same time. They're like, did one have time to rip off the other because it was
Yes.
it was in production before the other was released?
I've seen them. Yes, they did. Let's see. Brian Auer.
Ow.
He has Mega Force and Mad Max in disco. It's basically Mad Max in disco spandex. The Lion King, greatly copied from Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Number three, Firebirds. It was Top Gun and choppers in helicopters. That would be kind of fun to watch.
Oh, Iron Eagle. That would have been a good one for Top Gun too.
You know, I just saw Firefox a couple weeks ago. I thought I was going to talk about this.
You mean Firebirds?
No, Firefox. You said Firebirds. I thought Firefox. And I was watching that at Clint Eastwood. That was a bad movie, by the way. That was really horrible.
Was it
Oh,
about
the Clint Eastwood. Okay.
And it's really, really good thing that if you're going to infiltrate the Soviet Union, that everybody speaks English. That way.
Well, it is nice when all the Russians do speak English when you're there.
Yeah.
Just ask Rocky.
That's right.
He goes number two, The Force Awakens rips off A New Hope. And Full of Doom, the rope bridge cut, when he cuts the rope bridge, was ripped off from Nate and Hayes down doing the same thing in Rope Bridge. So there you go. Ripped off.
The movie's called Rope Bridge?
No, the Nate and Hayes is what it was called from 1983. They did the same thing on the Rope Bridge.
Cool.
Let's see here. What were they thinking? Let's see here. He has Lone Ranger. It ripped off a TV show. Starsky and Hutch. Wasn't this a TV show? SWAT. Does no one else see what's going on here? Aladdin. Wait, I saw a cartoon just like this. And a Serbian film. It ripped off The Sound of Music.
Oh, wow.
Let's see here. Finally, the Ditman's wife.
Well, Ditman.
Mrs. Ditman.
Could I submit?
This is Ditman.
Can I submit to you Footloose 2011 copied off Footloose 1984? Do remakes not count? We'll allow it.
We'll allow it.
And the Ditman, he wrote Fast and Furious numbers 2 through 300. It ripped off the first one. And
which in turn was a rip-off of Point Break.
And he goes, also, my guilty pleasure. Please don't judge.
Oh, I'm judging.
Judging.
So there you go. That was some good ones there. But yeah, I will never watch Sound of Music the same.
You don't watch it anyway. You hate that movie.
Fucking movie. God. That fucking movie. Ugh. Anyways, bad idea of the week. Number 15,710, eating cookies upside down. Don't do it.
Bad idea.
Bad idea of the week. So, Blake, welcome back. Glad you're here.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hopefully you enjoyed your
Vacation.
Rejuvenated.
Your Corona gathering expedition.
Yeah, my Corona sampling expedition.
That's right. So, anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. And Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye. Titles for the show.
Oh, titles for a show? Nope, but we're not saying goodbye. No. Hold on.
Unpause.
I got Chomp Chomp Bit.
Chomp Bit.
The year for Stud Muffin. I really like that one when he's talking about the horses.
Yeah.
This is the year for Stud Muffin. It was heartbreaking. Flying Goats.
I have Heartbreaking and Flying Goats.
And Raincoat Girl. And that's it. Jeff, what you got?
I had Heartbreaking, Flying Goats, and The Stuff of Nightmares.
Blake, which one did you like? Did you like the heartbreaking one?
It's all good stuff.
Oh, well, I kind of like in between the chomp chomp bit and the year of stud muffin.
I'm going year for stud muffin. I'm going for it.
Could this be the year for stud muffin?
There you go.
Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Look
Cool.
at that. Hold on. Stopping the recording.
Stop.
Ciao.